Hi Jukka, how are you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm doing quite well, thank you. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Finland.
Okay, how is the weather there?
It's really getting autumn-like. Of course, the leaves are falling, and it's like some artists sometimes said that autumn is like the new spring because of the many colors that we see.
Yeah,
And the sun is shining, but it's really windy. But it's not so cold yet,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is nice. Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking that 2 years ago, at I think
Mm-hmm.
it was mid October when we got the snow, and this year it seems that it's warmer because there are days that I think that yesterday was like 14 degrees.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah. But
Let's
let's
see.
go and talk about your upcoming album that will be released via Century Media on the 7th
Hmm.
of November. So,
Hmm.
May the Bridge We Burn Light the Way.
Indeed.
What can you tell about this album, about its genesis and lyrics?
Well, first of all, it's the 10th OG album, which is kind of like a landmark in a sense. And that's quite cool because, maybe not so many bands get to the point where they actually have released 10 albums. So in a way, this is a big thing for us. The album, well, let's start with this that it's like 40 plus minutes long. So it's pretty straightforward melodic death. Omnium Gatherum OG is melodic death metal. And it's really, really refreshing because I like the previous album Origin, but this has more like spunk and more like power, maybe like primordial power within it. For the lyrics, we have a loose theme here, um, like a street vibe, street themed things. But like I said, it's a loose theme, so it's not so like word in word from streets, but it's basically stories about different kinds of angles and different kinds of destinies in the streets. And here, streets can be understood as the whole world.
Yeah, yeah. So you record the vocals at Solna Sound with Simon Jonansson.
Hmm.
So how was work with him there, and how was different compared to the previous album, recording the vocals on this?
Well, it was different in that sense that we've never recorded vocals outside Finland. This was the first time. We went to our dear neighbors, the Swedes. We went to Stockholm to Solna Sound, where Simon has his studio, and with Simon and with Björn Street, we recorded the vocals, and this was the first time for me personally that I had actual like vocal producer helping me with these vocal duties. I was kind of like 98% ready when I entered the studio. We had demoed these songs many times before, and they were like ready. And we sent them to Simon and Björn. And when I entered the studio, I had like 6 days to record all the vocals, and I was done like in 5 days. And I have to say, like Björn's contribution was like little like really really nice little spices here and there, and he had really like good suggestions that like instead of you singing like this, can you try doing like this. So he pushed me the right way at the right moments. So I was like really really happy to see that those guys were able to get more out of me than maybe it wouldn't be possible if I just done the vocals the way we have previously done them, like without this kind of like producing. So this was really, really nice and challenging experience for me. So way to go, neighbors.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that in the future you will do the record in a similar way, or are you thinking something else, or are you not thinking about the future?
Well, I'm not thinking about it all the time. Maybe, maybe sometimes. But this from if I could choose from this experience, I would definitely do it again. But um, every person is an individual and different kind of worker. So I didn't know how Björn and Simon would work, and our chemistry is just clicked. But that might not happen. Maybe with other people, you never know. It happens or it doesn't happen. So, but after this experience, I would be really open to try something like this again, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And where was record the rest of the album?
We did it in a couple of studios. First of all, that's Solna Sound in Stockholm, Sweden, which were the vocals recorded. And then we recorded drums and bass in Sonic Pump Studios in Helsinki with our friend Miro, which is a super professional guy. He works also in, like, he's touring also with bands, like, for example, with Amorphis and Crown Shift and a couple of other bands. So he recorded the drums and bass with us in Sonic Pump, Nino Laurennes studio, and then we also worked with guitars. We worked with Juha Räihä, who's a guitar player in Swallow the Sun, and also plays with Markus in I Am the Night black metal project. And he has Inca Studios in Finland, which and there were all the guitars recorded, and all the keyboards were done by, of course, by Aapo, but he did them at home.
Yeah. Did you find any challenge in the writing or recording process of this album?
Well, I can only speak for myself, but what I've heard, like composing wise, what Marcus said, that it was really, really hard to get this process going because obviously he's super busy because he has three active bands at the moment on Gatherum Insomnium, and then Cemetery Skyline, and of course he has I Am the Night, but it's not so active. But anyways, he'd done so much music after the pandemic for different bands, so he said that it was quite challenging to get this process going. But after a couple of songs and a couple of months and a couple of demos, it started to roll. This is what he says. Lyrically, I was challenged in that way because this is a theme album, loose theme album, and we have never done this kind of like theme album before. So at the same time, it was easier to write the lyrics because I had this theme, and I had those like different kinds of angles from the streets, so different kinds of stories to tell. So in that way, it was easier to grab that kind of feeling, but still, it was also super hard because usually the lyrics that I write are more like wider, and they are more like philosophical questions. So I've never done this kind of thing before, so it was a challenge for me. But I'm really glad that we chose this path because I think it's really gave me a lot and renewed me as a lyricist.
Yeah, yeah. It's always good when there are challenges because they make you, let's say, grow
True.
in a way.
Yes.
So, do you have a favorite track from this album?
Mm, my personal favorite at the moment is Ignite the Flame. I really like it. It's fast. It's quite melodic, and it has this kind of like old school heavy metal vibe, Judas Priest vibe going on, and I like it a lot. I
Yeah.
really, really hope that we decide as a group to play that song live in the upcoming tours, because we haven't decided yet which of the songs of the new album we're gonna play. Of course, we're gonna play the video songs, the singles and stuff, but other than that, we haven't decided yet. And my thumbs are crossed for that one, but let's see.
Yeah. How difficult is to create a set list to song of song to play?
Well, it's really daunting at times because people have different kinds of opinions and different kinds of strategies for the arc of drama of the set list, like for the show. So sometimes it, there can be, let's say, heated dialogues about which songs to choose. Of course, we're always gonna play the songs that like Omnium Gatherum fans want to hear in a show, for example, Unknowing Skyline, those kind of songs, New Dynamic, but still, we try to rotate those other songs a lot. And of course, now it's even more difficult because we have all these new songs from which to choose. So it is difficult, but I think when we have that kind of like a really, really good how do you say, yhteistyö, like
The
we agree
teamwork.
on yeah, exactly, we agree on what we're gonna play, and we played a couple of times, couple of shows live, and we then after that we can really tell if it works or not.
Yeah, yeah. So now you have upcoming tour first in North America, November, December. Then you will
Hmm.
have about a month break, so you can maybe relax, maybe.
Hmm.
And then you have the European tour, February, March.
Yeah, and between that in January we have finished shows, like maybe 5 or 6.
Okay, I did miss
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no worries, but they're there. They're basic good old Finnish places: Helsinki, Jyväskylä, Oulu, Tampere, and a couple of others.
Yeah, yeah, nice. So
Yeah,
what do
but
you
anyways,
expect? Yeah,
anyways, those are, and then the European tour,
mhm,
and then Spain.
yeah, yeah. So what do you expect from the upcoming tour, and what fans can expect from this new tour with the new album?
Well, of course, like we like to be active on stage, so fans can expect that we're not slowing down in that sense at all. And we are really hoping to, just like we talked about the set list, we are hoping to create like a really great set list for us to and for people to have a good show. And I'm quite excited because I really like this album. I think like each and every one of these songs in this new album is something that we definitely can play live, and that is not a certain thing considering previous albums that we have made. For example, Origin or Grey Heavens, there are a couple of songs for some reason or the other are really hard to arrange to be a live song.
Yeah,
So in that way, I'm really excited about what songs we're gonna choose from the new album to the setlist.
yeah.
I think
Uh,
fierce things people can expect.
yeah. So energetic show, new songs live, and yeah,
Indeed.
great quality like always.
Thank you. We aim to please.
So, talking about tour, what are the
Mhm.
pro and cons of being a musician on tour?
Well, like the good things definitely are when you're on tour, you really get into that zone of playing live. Like, if you have like 10 plus 15, 20, 25 shows basically in a row, you can really get into that whole feeling that now I'm okay, now it's started to sound really good, really, 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 really good. And I would say like not so pleasant things or the cons are that there's a lack of sleep for reason or like, you know, sometimes I cannot sleep on the bus for some reason or the other, and of course, like, you know, you have a show every night, but like after the load in and after like uh, breakfast and stuff, there is this gap, and people like to go like walking in the city, but I don't like to do that because my mind is already in that nice show. So basically, I'm just like there waiting. I really can't do anything. Personally, that's a big con for me. I'm still working out. Like I've been touring 20 years, but I'm still working out that kind of thing. Sometimes like jogging or exercise in some form really helps with that gap. But sometimes you don't like basically have time for that. So those are the pros and those are the cons of long tours, and especially when you are like touring North America or Europe with the bus, it helps a bit. But when you are touring like Far East or South America, it usually like flying and hotels and stuff like that, and it can be really exhausting. At sometimes you go to sleep like 12 o'clock and then you wake up 4 o'clock to go to the airport and go to the next city, and sometimes you really can feel it like, okay, this is hard. Like, you know, our former sound guy said sometimes like, you know, boys, you picked a really challenging sport to play. I was, yeah.
Yeah. While touring, do you take with you your own pillow for sleep?
No, I'll go with what they have on the bus. I know some people do that, and I can totally understand it if they have like problems with their neck or with their back and stuff, like, you know, respect for that. But I don't really need it because for some reason or the other, my usually I don't get like a lot of pain
Stiffness.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good for you because yeah,
Yeah, it is.
there are a
It
lot
is.
of people that need just a certain pillow. So that's
And I,
something interesting that maybe, you know,
yeah.
people don't think about that musician needs certain thing while on
Mhm.
tour. And do you have anything that you take with you on tour that is something that maybe people don't expect?
Uh, Me personally, no. You know, I don't think like, you know, bringing some books that I like to read or stuff like that is something that people didn't expect. They are basic things. So I have those kind of basic things there, but nothing like nothing special in that sense.
Yeah.
No lucky charms or stuff like that. I totally respect people who do that and take those things with them, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, yeah. How do you take care of your voice while on tour? Because it's exhausting traveling and then having so many show in a row.
Mm, well, personally, I like, you know, a lot of water, like all day long. Like, you know, drink couple. Okay, I usually drink like a couple liters per day, anyhow. But they're like, you know, it just soothes the whole canals and stuff like that. Also, avoiding the excess use of alcohol, which is also helps. Like, you know, if you drink a lot, you know, it starts to affect your emotional states, which is not good on tour, at least in my experience. And we don't, like, you know, nowadays we don't even drink so much like beer here and there and stuff like that. And that's it. Also, I'm do warm-ups and cool downs before and after the show. And basically, and if I get sick, which like, for example, last spring we did a tour with Insomnium, like Beyond the Shadows of the Dying Sun, where they played the Shadows of the Dying Sun album and we played the Beyond album in whole. And I had influenza from the day two and whole of the tour, and it was really, really, really challenging to be able to maintain the voice. I didn't like, when I got it, I decided, okay, there's gonna be no alcohol in this tour, which was kind of fine. I've done tours when I'm not drinking at all, and it's cool. I don't care about that so much, but because of that, if you are sick, if you add alcohol to that concoction, for me, like, that's it. The voice is fucked. It's just gone. So I took a lot of medicine, painkillers and stuff like that, drank a lot of tea and water, and I was able to do it. But if you are not sick, just be kind to your voice and respect that it needs to rest, like in some part of the day. I think then you're on a good track to be able to do a whole tour, like a lot of shows in a row.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate when a musician, in particular the singer, gets sick during the
This
tour.
and almost everyone on that tour got sick.
Mm.
I was one of the first one. Nilo got sick. Our drummer got sick. Yeah, a lot of people, our technicians, our sound guy, they got sick. It was just, but we were living in a bus, so of course that happens.
Yeah,
There were some fortunate ones that didn't get the influenza, and that was cool because it was really, we had good shows, but it was really challenging and
yeah,
tiresome. I went to bed, like, we had a show, and then I was like, now I have to go to bed. And then it was like,
yeah.
okay, it's like 11 o'clock. Well, good night.
Yeah.
Because there's
You were
nothing else
like
you can do.
dawn.
Because, yeah, exactly. Because you have to rest. Like, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Before a gig, uh, how do you get ready and what's going on in your mind?
Well, nothing like basic stuff. Basically, I don't think about. I think about the show, but I don't visualize. Like people say that they visualize things and they manifest the show before the show happens. I really don't do that because I like that idea, but I just have flashes here and there from different kinds of songs. That's how it's gonna go. But I like to leave space for creativity during each show. That's why I don't like visualize it before, because that's it just doesn't work for me. But it's just basic stuff. I drink water, I warm up my voice, I make a few jokes with my colleagues and friends, and that's it.
Yeah. And while you are on stage playing, um, what's going on in your mind?
Sometimes it's a total blank, and I'm just super focused on the show. But sometimes I can think about, for example, my cat. For just like a flash, I remember my cat. I was wondering what's it. I'm wondering what he's doing now. Like those like stupid little things, but they like come and go like this. So it's gone, and then I'm back to being focused on the show. But those things, like nothing much, but different kinds of like non-important, non-music related stuff can appear to your mind, and sometimes it's also quite amusing.
Yeah. So now we need to know what's the name of your cat and what kind of cat is.
He is called Trickster, and he's here. He's here,
Oh, he's
and
cute. And he's a
he's
ginger one.
17 years old.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's old.
Yeah, but really really active, and he's just super cool.
Yeah, and it seems like very chill.
Yeah. He's kind of like, in his cat ways. There's sometimes like, he starts to like meowing like 4 o'clock in the morning, but then you just like, say, please, can you wait a couple of hours, and you give him just a little bit food, and that's it. But he's like I said, 17, so he's quite chill.
Yeah, yeah. You know, every time I say, if there is another life after this, I wanna be a cat in a good family, so I have my servant and I'm treated like a king.
I totally understand. That's why we have this phrase in Finland, which is called kissanpäivät.
Yes.
I don't know how
But
to translate it that
yeah,
fluently in English.
cat day. But yeah, it's difficult to. Well,
Yeah,
maybe people understand anyway what we mean.
it just basically means that you are really, really enjoying your life.
Yeah. But let's get back to the to the
Of
gig
course.
mindset and stuff like that. So
Mhm,
after the show is over and you get off the stage. So
mhm.
what is the first thing that you do?
Drink water or Powerade. That is the first thing because I don't usually like, I don't have to go to the toilet after the show because, we do sweat a lot because it's an active, it's melodic death metal. It can be quite fast at times. So we are active on stage. So I don't have to go to the bathroom right after the show, but it's usually something like a water or a Powerade or something like that to drink.
Yeah.
After that, it is just if we are not if we are supporting a bigger band, of course, then we do our duties on stage to get our stuff out and like that, of course, which is just logical and that's how it's done. But if we are like headlining or we don't have those kind of duties, uh, just to relax a bit and just a little bit have quite like conversations and dialogues with the other players, like how did it go and stuff like that, and technical stuff also, like did your in-ear monitor work well, or did we have this and this like a technical difficulty here and there, a little bit of like analysis of the show, but it's mainly like just to have something refreshing to drink and just to relax a bit. That's like the first half hour after the show. Sometimes we also go to meet all the people that have came to the show, but that usually happens not right after the show, but like maybe 2 hours after the show, depending on the situation, of course.
Yeah. Uh, did you ever receive a gift from a fan that was something very surprising?
Well, one time, for example, in China, I had this like little figure made from clay or something like that with the microphone and stuff. That was pretty surprising. Didn't expect that. Other than that, not like it's usually some kind of like a trinket, like some like wristband like or something, or a necklace or maybe a nice poem that someone has written for me. Those are all like really really nice and thoughtful things. But for me personally, for example, I have never received anything like weird, no dead animals or like spells or scrolls or anything like that. So usually, at least our fans and people who like our music, they can be surprising what they give, but usually it's just the normal things and it's super nice.
Yeah, yeah, that's nice. But now we are at the end of this interview, so
Hmm.
thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure. Would you like to say something? Would you like to say something to your fans and people that are watching this interview?
Well, Omnium Gatherum is best experience like experienced live. So come to the shows. We will see you there and we'll have a good time.